Ladies and gentlemen, life today is fast, loud, and demanding. Every morning we wake up to an endless stream of messages, responsibilities, and pressures. It feels like we are always racing against the clock, juggling multiple roles: worker, parent, student, partner, friend, each one asking more of us than the last. And in this race, peace often feels like something far away, something that belongs only to those who live on mountaintops or in silence. But the truth is, peace is not found in running away from life. It is found in the way we walk through it. True peace is not the absence of problems, but the presence of a calm, steady heart that remains unshaken no matter what storms arrive. Think about it for a moment. We cannot control life's pace. We cannot control other people's actions. We cannot even control what tomorrow may bring. Yet, we spend so much of our energy trying to do just that, trying to control everything. And when life does not bend to our will, frustration, stress, and anxiety take over. The key to unshakable peace is learning to let go of what we cannot control and focusing instead on what is within our reach. Our attitude, our response, and our perspective. Unshakable peace begins with a shift in definition. Many of us believe peace is when everything is calm, when the bills are paid, when relationships are perfect, when deadlines are over. But peace is not waiting for circumstances to align. If we wait for that, we will wait forever. Peace is creating stillness within even when the world outside is restless. It's like the eye of a storm. Everything may whirl around you, but inside you remain. Now, how do we get there? By practicing grace. Grace is not weakness. It is quiet strength. It is the ability to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting emotionally. When you face pressure, whether it's a boss demanding more than you can give, a loved one misunderstanding you, or life itself throwing unexpected challenges, grace gives you the space to pause, to breathe, and to choose clarity over chaos. It's not about ignoring problems, but about carrying yourself with dignity as you move through them. Peace also needs daily practice. Just like fitness requires regular exercise, peace requires daily anchors. Maybe it's a few minutes of deep breathing in the morning, a short prayer, a gratitude journal, or even a simple walk without your phone. These are not luxuries, they are necessities. They remind us that while the world may rush, we do not have to rush back. They center us, ground us, and bring us back to the truth that life is lived one breath, one step, one choice at a time. And here's something powerful. When you cultivate unshakable peace within yourself, you don't just change your own life, you change the lives of others around you. A calm presence can soothe an anxious friend. A peaceful word can calm an angry colleague. A steady heart can inspire hope in someone who is drowning in fear. Peace is contagious, and when you carry it, you give others permission to find it too. So, my friends, do not wait for life to get easier, for demands to lessen, or for the world to quiet down, because it won't. Instead, choose to slow yourself down, choose to steady your heart, choose to walk with unshakable peace. Because when you do, you will discover that life's demands no longer crush you. They refine you. They teach you grace, they build your strength, and they reveal the calm power that was always inside you. Peace is not something we chase. It is something we choose. And when you choose it daily, you will not just survive life's storms. You will rise above them with grace. Redefining peace. When most people think of peace, they imagine a quiet place. Perhaps a calm beach at sunrise, a silent forest, or a life where nothing goes wrong. We are taught to see peace as the absence of noise, conflict, or struggle. But here's the truth. Life is never going to be free of challenges. No matter who you are, problems will arise, conflicts will appear, and storms will come. If our definition of peace is simply no problems, then peace will always feel out of reach. That's why the first step toward unshakable peace is redefining what peace truly means. Peace is not found in escaping life. It is found in the middle of it. It is not a place you visit, but a state you carry within yourself. Think of it this way: two people can face the same storm, yet one panics while the other stays calm. The storm is the same, but their inner worlds are different. That's what real peace is, an inner condition. surface, waves crash, winds roar, and chaos reigns. But if you dive deep beneath the surface, there is stillness. The deeper you go, the calmer the waters become. That is what peace looks like in life. On the surface, there will always be demands, responsibilities, and pressures, but if you learn to live from a deeper place, you can carry calm within, no matter what's happening above. Redefining peace also changes the way you respond to challenges. If you believe peace comes only from an easy life, then every hardship will rob you of it. But if you see peace as an inner practice, you begin to face problems differently. A delay, a disappointment, or even a conflict no longer has the power to destroy your stability. Instead, you can meet those moments with patience, clarity, and calm strength. And let's be clear, this doesn't mean ignoring reality or pretending problems don't exist. Redefining peace is not about denial, it is about mastery. It is about saying, yes, this situation is difficult, but I will not let it control my spirit. It is about choosing calm over chaos, choosing faith over fear, and choosing clarity over confusion. The beauty of this new definition is that it is available to everyone. You don't need a perfect life to have peace. You don't need the approval of others. You don't need everything to be under control. Peace becomes a personal choice, a discipline, a habit of the heart. So if we want unshakable peace, we must stop chasing it in perfect conditions and start cultivating it within ourselves. True peace is not waiting for the storm to end. It is learning how to stand calmly while the storm rages. When you redefine peace this way, you discover that it is not rare, not unreachable, and not temporary. It is something you can carry with you into every demand, every responsibility, and every season of life. Letting go of control, one of the greatest thieves of peace, is our obsession with control. We spend so much of our energy trying to manage everything, our future, other people's behavior, how life unfolds. And when reality doesn't cooperate, we feel anxious, frustrated, or defeated. But here is the truth. The more we try to control what we were never meant to control, the more we suffer. Unshakable peace begins when we learn the art of letting go. Think for a moment about the areas of your life where stress comes from. Often, it's not the event itself, but our desperate attempt to bend it into our will. You want people to act the way you expect. You want time to move at your pace. You want outcomes to match your plan. And yet life, in its wisdom, rarely works that way. People are unpredictable, the future is uncertain, and no matter how careful we are, surprises will come. The illusion of control is exhausting because we are trying to hold on to something that was never fully ours. Letting go of control doesn't mean giving up responsibility. It doesn't mean becoming careless. It means focusing on what is truly yours to manage: your attitude, your choices, your perspective. You may not control how someone speaks to you, but you can control how you respond. You may not control the timing of opportunities, but you can control your preparation and patience. You may not control the storm, but you can control whether you anchor yourself or allow yourself to drift in panic. This shift is powerful because it frees you from the endless struggle against reality. Imagine holding sand tightly in your fist. The harder you squeeze, the more it slips away. But if you open your palm and simply hold it gently, the sand rests peacefully. That's the difference between control and surrender. Control exhausts you, surrender steadies you, and let's be clear, surrender is not weakness. It is wisdom. It is saying, I don't have to control everything to be okay. I trust myself to handle whatever comes. This trust creates peace because it removes the pressure of needing life to be perfect before you can breathe. Letting go also changes the way we experience uncertainty. Most of our fear of the future comes from trying to predict and control what cannot be predicted. We ask, what if I fail? What if they leave? What if things don't work out? But peace grows when you can say, even if I don't know the future, I know I'll be okay in it. This mindset transforms fear into resilience. Instead of clinging to certainty, you learn to stand steady in uncertainty. One of the best practices for letting go of control is to pause and ask yourself, is this in my hands or out of my hands? If it is in your hands, take wise action. If it is out of your hands, release it. Worrying won't change it, but surrendering will free you. You may not be able to calm the storm, but you can calm yourself. And in calming yourself, you discover that the storm is not as powerful as it seemed. When you master this art, life feels lighter. You no longer carry the impossible weight of controlling everyone and everything. Instead, you walk with a quiet strength, knowing that while you cannot direct the wind, you can adjust your sails. That is where unshakable peace lies, not in controlling the ocean, but in learning how to navigate it. So if you want peace that nothing can take away, release what was never yours to hold. Let go of the illusion of control. Trust your own ability to respond with grace. Because the moment you stop wrestling with what you cannot change, you begin to experience a freedom deeper than fear and a calm stronger than chaos. That is the gift of letting go. Practicing grace under pressure is one of life's constants. No matter who we are, we face deadlines, responsibilities, conflicts, and unexpected challenges. Pressure often comes when life demands more than we feel able to give. And in those moments, many of us react impulsively. We snap at others, panic, or shut down. But if peace is what we seek, then we must learn a different response. That response is grace. Grace is the art of maintaining dignity, strength, and calm even when the weight of pressure is heavy. What does grace under pressure look like? It is not about being passive or pretending everything is fine. Grace is not denial. Grace is strength wrapped in gentleness. It is the ability to remain steady when emotions want to erupt. It is choosing to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Grace is that quiet pause between stimulus and response. The pause where peace has room to breathe. Let's consider a simple example. Imagine you are at work, and a colleague criticizes you unfairly in front of others. The natural reaction is to fire back, defend yourself harshly, or stew in anger. But what if instead you chose grace? What if you took a breath, held your ground calmly, and responded with measured words instead of heated ones? Not only would you protect your peace, but you would also maintain your dignity and disarm the tension in the room. That is the power of grace. It diffuses chaos and replaces it with clarity. Grace under pressure also comes from perspective. Often, pressure feels unbearable because we tell ourselves stories that magnify the moment. A tight deadline becomes, if I fail, I'll lose everything. A conflict in a relationship becomes, this means it's over forever. But grace allows us to zoom out, to see the bigger picture, to remind ourselves that one challenge is not the end of the story. Perspective reduces panic, and panic replaced with perspective becomes peace. Another important aspect of grace is patience. Pressure often comes with urgency, the need to act fast, fix fast, or speak fast. But grace reminds us that speed does not equal wisdom. Sometimes the greatest strength is in waiting just a little longer, in breathing before answering, in pausing before deciding. That space creates room for better choices. In fact, many regrets in life come from moments where we reacted without grace. Words we wish we had not spoken, decisions we wish we had not rushed. Grace under pressure saves us from those regrets by slowing us down. But here's something many forget. Grace is not just for others, it is also for yourself. Too often, we place immense pressure on ourselves to be perfect, to meet every demand flawlessly, to never stumble. And when we fall short, we are our own harshest critics. Grace under pressure means extending kindness inward as well. It means telling yourself, I am human, I am learning, I will do my best and forgive myself for what I cannot do. That self-compassion is just as vital as the grace we extend to others. How do we practice this in daily life? Start with small pauses. The next time you feel stress rising, stop and breathe deeply. Ask yourself, What response will protect my peace? Choose words and actions that carry calm instead of chaos. Over time, this practice becomes natural, and grace becomes your automatic response instead of anger or panic. Grace under pressure is not about being perfect, it is about being present. It is about showing up with a calm heart when life tries to shake you. It is about proving to yourself and others that pressure may be strong, but your peace is stronger. And when you carry that kind of grace, you don't just survive life's demands. You rise above them with a quiet power that nothing can crush. Building daily anchors of peace is not something that arrives by accident. It is not something that just shows up on the days when everything goes smoothly. Instead, peace is cultivated. It is planted, watered, and cared for like a garden. And just as a garden needs sunlight and consistent attention, peace needs daily anchors, small, intentional practices that root us deeply so that no matter how strong the winds of life blow, we remain grounded. Think about it. Life's demands will not slow down for you. The world will continue to be noisy, chaotic, and fast-paced. But you can create anchors that allow you to stand steady in the middle of it all. These anchors are habits, small but powerful choices that bring calm into your daily rhythm. They may not eliminate life's pressures, but they prepare your mind and heart to face those pressures with balance and clarity. One of the simplest and most powerful anchors is mindful breathing. Most of us underestimate the power of just pausing to breathe deeply and slowly. When stress rises, our breath often becomes shallow, feeding anxiety and panic. But when we intentionally slow down, breathing deeply from the belly, something shifts, the body calms, the heart steadies, the mind clears. This small anchor can be practiced anywhere, in the middle of traffic, at your desk, or in the heat of a difficult conversation. It is a reminder that peace begins in the present moment, not in some distant future. Another anchor is gratitude. In a world that constantly tells us we don't have enough, gratitude recenters us on what we already have. Taking just a few moments each day to name 3 things you are thankful for, whether small or big, and completely shift your outlook. Gratitude rewires your focus away from stress and lack, and toward abundance and possibility. Over time, it becomes a shield against negativity, keeping your spirit light even when demands weigh heavily on you. For many, prayer or meditation serves as a daily anchor. These practices create sacred space in a noisy world, a space where we can reconnect with something greater than ourselves, whether that is God, the universe, or simply the stillness of silence. In that space, we release our worries, find perspective, and remind ourselves that we are not alone. Meditation quiets the noise within. Prayer brings comfort and strength. Both give the heart the calm assurance it needs to carry peace into the day. There are also physical anchors, like walking in nature, exercising, or even sitting quietly with a cup of tea. These small rituals may seem ordinary, but they ground you. They give your mind and body a rhythm of calm amidst chaos. They remind you that even if life is fast, you don't have to live fast inside. The key is consistency. Anchors only hold when they are in place every day. Just as a ship lowers its anchor before the storm, we too must establish our anchors before life overwhelms us. That way, when challenges arise, we are already rooted and steady. What's beautiful about daily anchors is that they don't just protect you. They influence everyone around you. A person who begins the day anchored in peace walks into their workplace, their family, and their relationships with a calm presence that shifts the atmosphere. Your peace becomes a gift to others, simply because you took the time to anchor yourself first. So the question is not, will life become less demanding? The real question is, will I become more anchored? Because the truth is, storms will come, but anchors keep you steady. And when you build daily anchors of peace, you discover that no matter what life throws your way, you are not easily shaken. You are grounded. You are centered. You are unmovable in calm. Spreading peace to others, when we think of peace, we often think of it as something deeply personal, something we cultivate within ourselves for our own balance and well-being. And that is true. But the highest level of unshakable peace lies within ourselves. It becomes something we carry into the lives of others. Peace is not only a gift you give yourself, it is a gift you give the world. Think about the people you know. Maybe it's a teacher whose words steadied you, a friend whose presence made you feel safe, or a loved one who listened without judgment. Those people weren't perfect, and their lives probably weren't free of stress, but they carried peace within them, and that peace spilled over onto you. That is the power of spreading peace. Your inner calm becomes a shelter for others. When you are anchored in peace, you naturally influence the atmosphere around you. Walk into a tense room with anger, and tension grows. Walk into that same room with calm, and the energy shifts. Your presence alone has the power to either add to chaos or bring balance. And the truth is, people are starving for peace today. In a world filled with noise, conflict, and constant pressure, your ability to carry peace makes you stand out like a lighthouse in the storm. Spreading peace doesn't require grand speeches or dramatic actions. Often, it's the simplest things that carry the deepest impact: a gentle word in a heated argument, a patient silence when someone else is venting, a smile in a place where everyone seems rushed. These small moments ripple outward, reminding others that there is another way to move through life, a calmer, kinder, more grounded way. But here's an important truth: you cannot spread what you do not have. If your own heart is restless, it will show. If your spirit is filled with anger, worry, or bitterness, that too will overflow. That is why cultivating peace within yourself is not selfish. It is necessary. You are filling your own cup so that it can overflow into others. The most peaceful people are often those who have done the inner work of letting go, practicing grace, and building daily anchors. Their peace is not fragile. It is steady enough to be shared. There is also a ripple effect to peace. One calm person can influence another, who then influences another. A mother who carries peace creates a home where children feel safe. A leader who carries peace creates a workplace where creativity and trust flourish. A friend who carries peace gives courage to someone battling fear. In this way, peace multiplies. What begins in you doesn't end with you. It grows outward into families, communities, and even nations. Spreading peace also requires intentional choices. It means choosing kindness when it would be easier to criticize. It means offering understanding when it would be easier to judge. It means listening more than speaking, and calming more than escalating. These choices aren't always easy, especially when pressures are high. But each time you choose peace over conflict, you are not only protecting your own spirit, you are modeling another way of living. Imagine what the world would look like if more of us carried unshakable peace into our daily interactions. Workplaces would be less toxic, families would be more united, friendships would be more supportive, communities would be stronger. Peace is not passive, it is powerful. It builds bridges where walls once stood. So, as you pursue unshakable peace for yourself, remember this: peace is not meant to be kept in a box. It is meant to be shared, to be seen, to be felt by others. Be the person whose calm presence makes people breathe easier. Be the person whose words inspire courage. Be the person whose steady heart reminds others that peace is possible, even here, even now. Because when your peace spreads to others, it doesn't just change a moment, it can change lives. And that is the highest calling of unshakable peace, not just to carry it for yourself, but to become a source of it for the world. My friends, peace is not found in escaping life's demands. It is found in the way we move through them. We began by redefining peace, understanding that it is not the absence of problems, but the presence of calm in the middle of them. We then saw how unshakable peace comes when we release the illusion of control and focus on what truly belongs to us: our choices, our attitudes, our responses. We explored how grace under pressure is not weakness, but strength clothed in gentleness. The kind of strength that allows us to respond with dignity instead of reacting with chaos. We looked at daily anchors, those small, intentional habits that ground us and keep us steady no matter how loud and fast the world becomes. And finally, we discovered that peace, when deeply rooted within us, becomes more than a personal treasure. It becomes a gift we can spread to others, influencing families, friendships, workplaces, and even communities. Unshakable peace is not a dream reserved for a few. It is a choice available to all. It is cultivated in the everyday moments, in the breath you take before you answer, in the kindness you extend when anger rises, in the gratitude you practice when life feels heavy. So do not wait for life to quiet down, because it won't. Instead, choose to quiet yourself. Do not wait for storms to pass, because they will come again. Instead, learn to stand calm in the middle of them. That is unshakable peace that no demand, no storm, no pressure can take away. Carry this peace within you and let it overflow to those around you. Because when you walk with unshakable peace, you don't just navigate life's demands with grace. You transform them into opportunities for strength, growth, and light. So I leave you with this challenge: become the calm in the storm, the anchor in the chaos, and the steady heart in a restless world. That is the power of unshakable peace.